morning. Good to have you on the show. It's turned out to be quite a strong quarter for you. But tell us, in terms of a Q3 vision ahead, how the festival season has panned out, and are you looking at bettering your performance for the third quarter, given the strong festive season?
Absolutely. This is Q3 is also going to be quite phenomenal, and even with the added, the excise cut that's happened with the fuel, it will be a much relief that was needed. And I think Diwali did not have that did lack that luster that was there last year or even the year before. But in general, we did quite well, and I think Q3 will be far better than last year, and even better than 2019.
Great. Is this strong trend going to be, will manage to hold through, you think, till the new year? Because pretty much post Diwali, one gets into extended festivities all the way to the new year. That's December end. And also wanted to understand, since you are prevalent across a wide variety of sectors, where exactly are you seeing the optimism and robust growth coming in sectorally?
So this trend that we're seeing, the growth trend, I think it's something which because of the economy opening up and no lockdowns happening, and the COVID cases coming down. In general, manufacturing has picked up, and that is translating into higher movements of goods and services. If you see that even the government announced that the GST collection will be more than 1.5 lakh crore each month till December. So I think that itself is a testament of the fact that the economy is rolling, and we will be taking benefit of it. True that this quarter has a lot of holidays and all of that, but I think with the SMEs picking up, and in general, the sectors that we are in, example the pharmaceuticals, auto components, engineering, spare parts, and and to a small extent, even the textiles, though textiles hasn't really picked up. But we're seeing good movement happening across all the sectors.
Good morning. This is Nantara. What we've seen a day before Diwali, you can call it the government's gift, the excise duty cut on petrol and diesel. We've seen most states have also, reduced prices, even the non-BJP states and even the national capital. What has this meant for your business, and what is it going to mean going forward? What should the markets be factoring in?
So there are two ways to look at this. This cost reduction going forward will be beneficial. But we have actually, most companies have endured that high cost, in the previous quarters and since last year. So how do we we have to make up for that also? So I think price hike is imminent. I mean, that we have to still keep on taking. And of course, the operating costs will come down from, it was running at about almost 72 to 75%. But we focus on operational efficiency quite carefully. So I feel that we will be able to take on this advantage quite diligently.
So you're saying a price hike is imminent. So what you're saying is the offset is not going to be as large as what you have so far not passed on to the consumer.
Offset is large, but at the same time, we have the propensity to reduce our operating costs by actually talking to our vendors and getting that cost down. So once we are able to increase the pricing with the customer, we are also able to bring down the pricing with our truck vendors. So I think that will have a good effect for this quarter. And I think this will be much better than, as I mentioned, by 2019 also.
So brace yourselves. There is a price hike which is round the corner. I have to ask you this one question. The buzz on the street, not just in India but around the world, is to do with ESG. It is to go green. We've been hearing now about e-commerce companies also preferring EV fleets, this, that, and the other. TCI Express, what can we expect when it comes to this larger theme?
So if investors and officials go through our ESG website, our portal, they'll see that we're actually quite forward in the logistics industry in in bringing out in trying to be carbon neutral. It's still far away for us because the kind of trucks that we have are not at all efficient. The big names, I don't want to name them, but you know which ones. They do not have the potential to reduce carbon emissions by any feet unless they do something really drastic. However, to counter that, we have started installing solar panels in all our sorting centers, which means that they will be all green in time to come. And quite recently, we also we did our trial run with the drone deliveries, and that was a good success in the state of Gujarat. And I think once the government has clear policies and mandates given out for operations of drones, I see that it could be a good way of reducing carbon emissions in the country.
Seen a new draft policy, right? Like Jyotiraditya Scindia, since he took over as aviation minister, one of the first things he did was, as far as the draft policy, make it more friendly. The Joint Secretary Amber Dubey in the aviation ministry, who comes from the private sector, is also personally looking into all of this. So tell us, when you've tested drone delivery, what kind of deliveries? We've seen those videos, for example, of globally of packages of Amazon being used by drones. What are you planning?
So we did the same. We did exactly the same thing, and it was the material was picked up from our sorting center, and then we identified, the closest branch that it has to go. So instead of going to the branch, we spoke to the client and the customer, and then we made sure that we could deliver to their premises. But there were a little challenges. It was a little challenging because for really operating drones and all of that, one must have the topography maps, and at the same time, one must have the building, the total the number of buildings around that area and proximity to the airport and all of that. So a lot of back end work needs to be done for this to be successful. And there are no government policies as yet, just announcing that, oh yeah, okay, we all can and we all should operate drones. But there have to be, what about the licensing? Who can operate that? Who cannot? Who doesn't have malicious intents of that? So all of those things need to be defined. And I think as the government progresses on that, we will progress with this also in our deliveries.
Chander, great speaking with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thanks.